time it is. We don't turn down, we turn up. Bird car. Count it. 1, 2, 3. Let go.
Turn up, 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 turn up.
All right, so welcome you back to Local Louisville Fighting, LLF. I am Charles C. Dub, MC Whitehead, my co-host.
Katie, how y'all do today?
Katie Marks, last name Katie Marks, and our guest today. I don't. Hold on, I got to drop some bombs. Bomb thing working? Okay. Bomb ain't working yet. So I got to drop some bombs, a semi drum roll for our guest today. Who we have in the building is Shavon Stoner, who is the grandchild of Fred Stoner, who, you know, in the streets wise or how it goes down wise, you know what I'm saying, didn't deserve some of the credit that he deserved for what he did with Muhammad Ali. So we have his granddaughter in the building today, so she gonna shed some light on this. So this is Miss Shavon Stoner, grandchild of Fred Stoner.
Hello,
Hand clap.
everyone.
Get a hand clap. And before we get started, of course, anything's possible. You believe in God.
Amen.
First thing, we get right into it here. Miss Stoner, woman, I'm gonna let you have the first. I'm gonna let you bomb first today. Right,
Thanks
we
for
bomb
being
first,
here
so I'm gonna
Thank
let.
you for having
We
me.
appreciate that very
Thank you for
much. I
having
love
me.
your shirt. Represent
Thank you.
everything.
Thank you.
As my co-host said, if you don't know who Fred Stoner is, he had a huge impact on Muhammad Ali's career. So this is a real gem to speak with you today,
Thank you. I appreciate
Miss
it.
Shavon. So, how was the impact of growing up under such, you know, an impactful person? You know, he gave so much to you. If Muhammad Ali didn't have him, maybe he wouldn't be the boxer, the person he was. And how much of your life today you share in the humanitarianism of how Muhammad Ali was as well, to that, and give you like light to, you know, you want to walk that path as well? Or did that
yes.
impact you at all? Maybe it's just your own person, your own thing.
It does. I most definitely think it's genetic. As far as coming up, it was bittersweet. You know, I'm honest. So it was bittersweet. To see my grandfather passed away. I was maybe around 5 or 6 years old.
Okay.
So, but it was a pleasure to come across him as I did when I did. You know, God's timing is always perfect. So, but whatever it was, as I said here today, it's always been something. You know, about him. As far as the impact that he had, I know what he done. You know, I know what he accomplished. So,
Right.
not to get that recognition, you know, it kind of sets kind of a natural, like, you know, a thorn a little bit. So, and you have to give people their flowers while they're alive.
Ooh,
You
say it
know?
again.
Yeah.
Boy, my bomb working today. Say it again. Give them their flowers
Don't
while they're
come
alive.
together
Say
when
it
you're
again.
gone. Come together
So,
when you're
yeah,
alive.
so, and you
Yeah.
have to understand and wherever they are, you know, we see actors on TV. However, it was a connector. So don't ever forget about, you know, everybody needed or had someone, you know, to help them. And just given the dynamic of, you know, the person who Ali, you know, became,
Right.
you know, just from that little mustard seed of just, you know, close your fist only on impact.
Hey, I'm gonna use that. Close your fist only on impact. I'm using that. I'm stealing that.
You
I'm
know,
taking
so-
that. Taking that.
So the science of boxing, you know, he, you know, stated that, you know, Mr. Freddie, you know, Fred Stoner taught him that. So, you know, when you talk about science, that's a whole different level. of things.
Most definitely.
And it's just bittersweet, you know, but you know, and it's no ill will toward anyone, you know. Back then, if you had the complexion, as Ali stated, if you had the complexion, then you had the connection. You know, unfortunately,
Right.
my grandfather didn't, but I'm here.
Right. And here, when we jump all into this, you know what I'm saying? We just gonna take it from the top. So number one, here in Louisville, we are having Fred Stoner Day.
We are.
That is correct. So we are having Fred Stoner Day. That is going to be June 16th. Is that correct? All right. So June 16th, we're having Fred Stoner Day. Where is that going to be?
It'll be in the Smoketown neighborhood right here on Hancock. There's a boxing gloves. Right there. So it'll be right there in that sector between Lambton. I can't think of the other.
Okay,
Jacob,
so it's gonna
Lambton
be in
and
that. So if I pull around the corner, I'm not gonna miss it.
You won't.
So this is gonna be outside.
It'll be out. It'll be an outside event.
Okay.
We'll have different activities for the kids. It'll be set up like a field day.
Oh, okay.
Then we'll
Nice.
have shout out to All or Nothing Boxing. We'll
Hey,
have a boxing
all or nothing
ring.
boxing. You know
Go
how you know how we
Merge,
go.
Jim.
Rico, what's up?
So we'll have a boxing rink. And just information. People coming out if they have anything that they want to promote. Everything is free.
Right.
Free of charge. We just ask. Of course, it'll be hot. Bottled water.
Well, it's gonna be hot. Well, my next question is gonna be like, did we check the weather that day?
No, but it's weather's weather.
Right.
You
So
still
right.
have to live. So I hope everyone comes out, and if it's 10 people, I'm okay with that.
Hey, understand that. I understand that. I believe it's gonna be more than 10 people. We can ready to bring the whole city out. We're gonna bring the whole city out to support Fred Stoner, because we about to get into this Fred Stoner story with his granddaughter here. So number one, we having Fred Stoner Day, June 16th, Germantown between Lambton on the street, Smoketown, and it'll be on the street, so you can't miss it. Turn the right corner. Actually, one of our audio engineers is from Germantown. Xander, he was like, "What are all these Fred Stoner flyers that I see around town?" So I did like it. I said, "Don't worry, we gonna have her here next week, and we got you here today." So that's a blessing. Next thing is we're going to celebrate him, and we're going to celebrate that. What I'd like you to get into is get a little more in depth into, because of not knowing and without speaking to you, story on the street is back in that day, you couldn't get those big name fights unless you was with the Caucasian people, you was with the white people. These people have the connections, and your grandfather did not have the connection, but your grandfather was the one that taught him majority of his skills. So can you elaborate on that in any way?
Well, of course, back then it was, we had the black and white sector issue.
Yes.
So,
and I mean, it's just part of life. It's just how it was back then.
It is. It is. And my grandfather, he, everything, I'm not for sure where he taught it or where he was taught from. It could have been something he was blessed with.
Right.
However, he built his own rink. He, the things that he had was equipment that he either made or somehow was given to him. And he started out with a 15-man entourage. Okay. Entourage. So, and he developed them with a skill that, when they had the Golden Globes or the AAUs, Freddie's fighters would always win. And so they had a man, Rudell Stitch. May have been, from my understanding,
right.
Maybe, Muhammad Ali, he was.
What are you saying here?
Yeah.
he was on that level?
If not a higher level.
Okay, good. Because there's people out here that say that there's people out here better than Jordan. They'll talk about it all the time.
Yes, well, and that's something, and I'm giving accolades. So I don't want to take anything from Ali, and most definitely not, the late Rudell Stitch. However, he did, drown. So that's something that we may never see. We may, of course, never know.
But he was just as good.
He was.
That's what they say on streets. He's just as good.
Hey. Well, I look at it like this. Rudell came. He was under Freddie. So Muhammad Ali, Freddie's boys would always beat the white men. What's his name? Martin's boys. Right. Freddie's boys was always winners. So for Ali to come there and want that, so I guess that speaks for itself.
It does. It does.
So and as I stated, he will come and train with Freddie, and learned a lot of his skills, as he stated. He learned his science and learned how to move his feet.
Right.
From Freddie.
So Freddie taught him how to dance.
Freddie taught him.
Hey, taught him how to dance. He danced here in Louisville. Taught him how to dance. How to shuffle them feet.
He did.
So where would how much would you say from like the beginning of Muhammad Ali's career was he believed just reading and hearsay? It was about 12, 14 years old when he finally stepped into the gym for the first time. How long from like those days, and how influential to like exactly what point for us that don't know throughout his career? How long was he like actually like with him? Was he through the Olympics? Freddie took your grandpa took him to the Olympics.
I'm not for sure. I can't definitely say a time frame, but I do know for sure that he was in the ring with him before. We do have an image of him there. As far as with Freddie, I think he had, from my understanding, he had the opportunity to go with him, but he didn't want to leave his community.
Oh, really?
I
Oh,
couldn't.
okay.
So your grandfather had a chance to
Yeah,
go,
from my
but
understanding,
he didn't want to leave the Ville.
He didn't
Okay,
want to leave his community.
nothing wrong with that.
So
He really loved his community.
he did.
and-
He actually, boxing wasn't his only thing that he actually taught.
Okay.
They have a skate, and he taught a lot of people how to skate.
A skate?
He was.
Do you know how to skate?
I do.
You know how to skate.
I
They gonna be skating out there on the
No,
16th,
I don't-
right? No, you gonna bring some skates. Look, they gonna bring some skates there.
Bring your outdoor skates, not your indoors.
Outdoor skates.
Or
Outdoor skates.
But yeah, my grandfather was a barber. He built his
Okay.
own wrestling ring right here where the dental school is. I believe was either his barber shop or where he built the first wrestling ring.
Okay.
So
Oh man, that's cool.
he did a lot of things.
That
He
is.
did.
So
He did.
that's a good reason why he didn't want to leave the community. He's like, not
Mhm.
only am I involved in boxing, I'm involved in skating. I done made the rings and the whole nine. So I
And
get
some
it.
people, I believe, honestly believe, some people are just here to, they're just at gym. Like, Freddie, my grandfather was probably one that I'm gonna push him out to you.
Right,
So
right,
I'm
right.
the pusher. I can develop them, and it's a natural development. And some people have it, and some people just don't. So and that ability to train people, and they still have that dynamics of how you train them and to
Right.
pass it on to other people.
Right.
Is big.
Yes, it is. It's very, very big. Very, very big.
So
It come.
know your lane. You have to
Well, get into that. It comes with
Yes.
knowing your lane. So
Yes, you have
know
to
your
know
lane.
your lane. So
That's awesome.
so after, let's get into, show another picture. Can we get to the next picture? So here is a picture where there's actually a news footage of Stoner is a prophet that's long overlooked. So do you have any stories or anything about how he was overlooked? Because we know he was overlooked because Muhammad Ali had to take another step to get the big name and to do all this, and your grandfathers gave him some foundation. That's what we want to look at. Foundation, taught him how to dance and the whole nine. But there's other people that know this as well. So we just want to bring light to this here in Louisville about this guy's overlooked and he need to give him his props. I wish we could have gave him flowers when he was around. I wish we could have. Him being around, what experiences do you have with him being when he was alive?
Well, of course, the only way that I would even go where my father was, he would take me to see my grandfather. So,
Right.
But as far as that, he was a very quiet man, and he smiled all the time. So I was a grand girl. So
Grandbaby,
Right,
they
yeah.
love the grandbabies.
Well,
you know how that
when
goes.
they saw in the gym, I just recall there was a time in the gym, and I was trying to push that bag, and and I fell, and he was I don't know what he was doing, but he ran. He came over so fast, so it was like he was the grandfather. I probably would have been the favorite. Listen,
Say probably right. The rest of the family, you ain't heard that. You didn't know
but
that.
he was a very quiet, introverted man. We always ate Krispy Kreme donuts.
Krispy Kreme donuts?
Oh.
Okay. Can't go wrong there.
Yeah, so he stayed up in Indiana, and
Mm-hmm.
he had this beautiful white dog. And lined up in the room, the newspaper in the dog's room. I remember it was so perfect. Like it was just
Asymmetrical.
very neatly placed. So, and he was this little. He was like he was different. Once he was in his groove, it's like he's there. So, but outside of the ring, it was I remember they had his services actually in the gym where he taught.
Oh wow!
Wow, yeah, that was interesting. That was interesting, and me being new to this game, I didn't know much about. So I'm learning at the same time too. So, Fred, when did he pass away?
I want to say 1981.
Okay, so in the 80s is when he passed away.
Yeah, it was in the 80s.
Yeah.
But that's where he pretty much spent, most of
Most
his
of the
life.
time was
so
in
that-
Grace Presbyterian Community Center. That building is actually still there. What they did was it was a gym, and so now it's called the Fred Annex Building,
Mhm.
and it's
Okay.
actually apartments. But the same foundation that was then is there now, and as far as the windows and everything, and they have like a health center at the bottom.
Right.
So it's
They still preserve
preserving,
something
yes,
of him.
preserving.
As it
You know,
should
his-
be. He
yeah.
gave so much to the city.
He did. So I want to read something that Miss Parker sent to me, and this is from CBS News. So CBS News sent it. And how did you come across this information?
I had the guy when he passed away. When Muhammad Ali passed away, of course, you know, it was trending around the world. So it's so many people, so many different people that know of Fred Stoner outside of his hometown. So
right. So outside of Louisville, we traveled.
So a gentleman from Pittsburgh, I believe, sent that to me.
Did he? Pittsburgh. There's a lot of boxing going on in Pittsburgh. I haven't seen y'all
Heavy
before.
city.
Right. So
I can Pittsburgh Boxing Commission. Because he was the first black man inducted in the Boxing Commission, I believe, here. So with that
okay.
said,
cool.
He sent it to me.
Did he? All right, so let me read this for you. It says, well, Joe Martin was the man who I first started boxing with. Joe Martin is a white, patrolman, right, a patrolman in Louisville, Kentucky, who held boxing at Columbia Gym, and he had a show called Tomorrow's Champions. But during that time, well, the blacks were a little held back, so Fred Stoner was the best trainer. I would train with Joe Martin at 8 o'clock and go to 10 o'clock and train with Fred Stoner, Grace Community Center. That's where I learned my science, my boxing ability, my dancing ability, all my skills, but I had to go back to Joe Martin in order to stay with him to get on television, which he had the connections and the complexion to get the protection, so I stayed with him. But the man who actually trained me, that taught me my skills, was Fred Stoner. But the man who took me around the country, got me the publicity, put me in the right places, was Joe Martin. So this is how I had to make it in a southern city. So it's a shame that he actually had to go through that, but this is CBS putting it on paper. That your grandfather was a man, yo. Yep. Your grandfather was a man. And it's not like that now, so you don't have to be like that now. But at that time, he was just doing what it took. Do you have any memories with Muhammad Ali? We got a picture of you, Muhammad Ali. So that's you and Muhammad.
I went to Central High School, so he came to visit Central when I was in high school. And I told him who I was, so it was, you know, like.
You Stoner, grandma. Oh, okay, okay.
You family,
right? You know what I'm saying? Family.
And then, to my knowledge, there's a lot of stoners. Shout out to the stoners. But there's a lot of us. So, from my understanding, a stoner and a clay married one another. Which, you know, everybody knows that Cassius, you know, his first name was Cassius.
Cassius Clay. Okay.
Right, so. And how that dynamic is. So it's God just has a way of doing things.
Hey, won't he do it? Won't he do it? I mean,
yes.
Won't he do it?
You want to shed any light on who?
Some la. You do it.
And this opportunity right here was, I had my older brother. He's the third, Fred Stoner. The third. He worked for, I think it was Insight at the time. No, I don't think it was Spectrum Cable.
Yeah, it was Insight back then. It was Insight before it became Spectrum.
Went to install some cable for a gentleman, white guy, I can't think of his name, and he went into a room and it was this memorabilia, and it was, you know, Freddie, and so when he told him who he was, he looked at the name first, and so he just got excited, and he was like, oh, I can get you all and to meet, and
for real.
So, and I used to talk to him all the time, him and his wife, and I just lost connection. So
it happens.
Yeah, we did. And so this right here, we had the opportunity to go, and it was great. It was good. First time visiting the museum.
So. Nice picture. Nice smile you got there.
Thank you. Thank you. So that's good.
The grandchild of Fred Stoner, the man that is going to get his flowers, even though he passed away, for being the trainer that trained Muhammad Ali and knowing his lane as far as being able to, this is what I can give you now. If you want to reach the next level, you go do this. What's your life like now?
Well,
how you do it? What do you do?
Right. What ways are you giving back?
What is it that I do?
Yeah, if you
Well,
want to elaborate.
Well, I'm a mother.
All right, mother, how many
First
kids?
and foremost.
First and foremost,
Yes.
first and foremost, I am a child of God.
Say it
first.
again.
So,
Yes.
but I'm a mother. I have 5 children.
Okay.
Ages 21, 18, 14, 6, and 4.
All right.
And
You
I
got
work.
graduates? You got
Non-stop
any of them?
going.
No.
I do. I just have well, my 21-year-old. She's been out for a couple years. So
Okay.
she's on her own. And then my second one, she just went out on her own. So
Okay.
she just graduated from Central.
All right. Shout out to
Shout
Central.
out to Central.
Man, Charles
And,
Edison, what's up?
And so she just got a 4-hour scholarship. She's going to WKU for.
You going to Western?
She wants to be a dental hygienist.
Okay.
And then I have a busy schedule with my 14-year-old, Chief, and he plays ball. He's a good basketball player.
You play basketball? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That was on me.
And then I have 2 little ones that keep me busy.
They keep you busy?
They do.
No, you ain't throw them in boxing?
No.
Right. You ain't put them in boxing?
I didn't. So my youngest girl, she's 6. She actually wants to do karate.
That's okay.
She wants to do karate.
Some form of fighting in there.
She does.
Nothing wrong with some discipline, and it's fun. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so she wants to do karate. So I'm excited about it.
Well, that's good. That's this picture right here. This is not Muhammad Ali, but this is your grandfather working with someone else. Who is this?
It is the guy, Kent, Joe Kent. He was a Golden Glove champion back in the AAU Golden Glove days.
Okay.
And he had this fight, or was fighting at Male High School, was going to fight at Male. So this picture is probably way older than me. So from my understanding, Ali was 4 years old when this picture was actually taken.
Okay, so he wasn't even in the mix yet. So
He
your
wasn't.
granddaddy was getting down before even Muhammad Ali came along. So he was still training guys how to knock people out.
First love, obviously.
Yeah.
Right? Teaching.
So he had it's something in his blood. So he's most definitely what they say, a jack of all trades. As long as it's I would take it as long as it's anything physical and athletic, he's with it. So he was with it.
That's neat.
So Fred Stoner Day, June 16th. How did that come about?
I mean, over the years, just when God tell you to go,
You gotta go.
and so He'll put it on you. So just me venturing with some of the other things, so many ideas that I do have.
Right.
I just woke up one morning and this particular thing was like, okay.
Heavy on your heart, heavy on your mind.
It's always been. My grandfather has always been heavy on my heart and mind. Just seeing it and like, dang, that my grandfather gave y'all the world's greatest.
Yeah, hey, gave us the
that's where I'm
greatest. Stop
coming from.
playing.
So, like,
Stop
There's
playing.
a good one.
Yeah, so-
Is this the first annual?
It's the first.
All right, first
Mayor
annual.
Fisher
Okay.
actually dubbed it June 16th back in 2016.
Okay.
And so
Wait, June. That's Juneteenth
Mayor
on top
Fisher,
of
I
it.
see you.
Wow.
Yeah,
Put some
so-
emphasis on that. Why
yes,
not? Juneteenth. Come out June 16th, Juneteenth, and
yes, and it's on a
Bang,
Thursday,
bang.
but
That's
it's
fire.
okay. It's God ain't pick you a day to live.
No.
So and this support, support people and give people flowers. So, and I just wanted to make it something. So with the help of a partner of mine, Boss is Not Bangers. Shout out to Demetrius
Hey,
McLeod.
Boss is Not Bangers. We did a show with them. All or Nothing did a show with them. I remember.
Okay.
That's the bald head guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
He's all right. He's good.
Yeah, he is. So, Boss is Not Bangers. So, with most definitely the help of him and the push and everything. So,
Helping your idea become reality.
yeah,
That's
so,
because we can all have an idea, and then how long is it before your idea becomes
exactly,
reality?
You have to move on it. So, and
So
I'm a
Boss is
thinker
Not
and
Bangers.
overthinker.
Shout out on that.
Yes, and it just went from there, and hopefully it'll be a success. But as I say, if it's 10 people, it's still successful for me.
It is.
And so with this day, we're actually giving out plaques.
Okay.
I hope they don't know though. So,
Oh, they don't know? Oh, well.
No. So this is
You're
why-
right.
Well, I'm actually giving out plaques, but those individuals don't know that
They don't know they
receiving
getting them. Right. They don't know who it is. So
and the event will always be called Flowers. Freddie for Flowers.
Freddie for Flowers. So that's what the event's called. It's Freddie.
Right, and it's just giving back flowers while these people are alive instead of waiting until they pass away. So I want you to smell and get your flowers.
Great idea.
That is
Yeah.
awesome. I'm telling you, it's awesome.
So, and collectively, you know, getting, you know, the children and everyone to understand, like, you know, we can teach babies how to walk.
Right.
You know, we can teach them how to go to the potty at that age, consistent. You know, it's a child is never too young to learn certain things.
Say it again.
Absolutely.
Never too young to learn.
And it's just the support and the consistency. So we don't have to wait until they're, you know, a certain age to teach them certain things, especially mental. Because I always tell people, these days you can get a lot of different things. You can get another arm, another, you know, make you up. But I've never heard of a brain transplant. So you only get one mind.
Right.
And I
never heard of a brain transplant.
You know, so correct me if I'm wrong, but you only get one mind. So take care of that. So
and it starts when you're that young.
Right.
The
So,
first 7 years are so crucial for the rest of your life.
Yeah. So with that being said, you know, just the knowledge, or, you know, if you can, you know, just reaching one child. So just, you know, early teaching children, early support, and
right,
you know, understanding it, you know, it'll go a long way.
It will. When I'm a firm believer in teaching them young, but that's a whole different podcast. I'm a big believer in teaching them young. That's a whole different show.
We're gonna have some things, and, you know, some entertainment, and, you know, some praying, of course.
Right,
and,
right.
You know, and just let God do what He do.
Let Him do His work.
Yes.
Let Him do His work.
Get out the way.
So, before we go,
mm-hmm.
June 16th, Freddie Flowers,
mm-hmm.
Fred Stoner Day, Smoketown. What time?
The event will go from 3 to 8 p.m.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm going to shoot through her after work. Right.
Be there. What day of the week is that?
It's on a Thursday.
It's a Thursday.
So whatever, you know, Lord willing, as you know, whatever day the 16th falls on going forward. So it's to be something that, you know, my team and I will want to do every year. So.
Right.
Awesome.
That is.
You know, and like I said, this is my, you know, the first time. So, you know, with any, you know, mishaps or whatever, you know, don't hold it to my heart.
Yeah. Try not to hold it to your heart.
But that's not what I'm concerned about. I just, you know, I'm, you know, just giving the flowers, you know.
Right.
You know,
No, I totally get it.
Somewhere.
No, it's a wonderful thing you're doing. It's a beautiful thing you're doing.
Thank
and it's
you.
nice for Bosses.Bangers, you to get that together and bring that to light and bring that so that the people in Louisville that don't know can know, and the people that didn't have an idea can at least have an idea now about how this all came about, because I'm real big on, you know what I'm saying, you can't go forward if you can't look back.
Right.
You know,
and
understand
accept the facts,
yes.
You know, and it's, you know.
So you can appreciate what you're doing.
Yes,
now.
appreciate it.
I get it.
And it's true, you know, facts over feelings.
Ooh, say it again. Facts over That's giving me chills right there.
Yes. It's our love, you know. So it is our love, you know. What you give out, you'll give back.
Right. So June 16th, Freddie Flowers, Freddie Stoner Day, the guy that trained Muhammad Ali didn't get the credit he deserves. So we're going to make sure he get the credit. June 16th, starting at 3 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Is that covered? That's about it,
be
right?
There.
Right.
There.
So you need to be there.
Show up.
You need to show up, show out. You know what I'm saying? Because it all started here. And one thing that Louisville is known for is we're known for throwing them hands. Her granddaddy taught that man how to throw them hands and how to dance. Yes. She taught him that.
And spread the love.
And spread the love. And be a humanitarian on top of all that.
Mm-hmm.
So you think, before we get out of here, Fred Stoner taught him to fight. You taught him some of that attitude, or taught him some of that humanitarianism? Did he teach him some of that too?
I'm sure he did. And, you know, so, and, you know, the character that Muhammad Ali had, you know, he was, you know, very for sure of himself. So I can only imagine him and Freddie's dynamic. So, but in order, excuse me, for him, you know, the sureness that Muhammad Ali had of himself, I'm pretty sure Freddie had to be one that, you know,
got to be.
You know,
put that in his heart and mind right
that
there.
puzzle, like, okay, well, she's gonna listen.
It seemed like you took the teachings of, you say your grandfather never wanted to leave the city, and it seemed like Muhammad Ali was all about saving the world and impacting the world. So it seemed like he took that on to the next level where Freddie didn't or couldn't, whoever his feelings may have been.
That's how things are. You know, you have your producers, and then you have your actors, and you know, you produce this, and it's not always, you know, I'm not always going to be your producer all the time.
Right,
you know,
right.
It's, you know, I'm producing you. Excuse me. The thing is to help people get to the next level. But in the mix of you helping people or people helping you to get to the next level, just don't forget it.
Right.
It's not saying that you really owe anything, but you know,
don't forget where you come from.
Don't forget it.
Man,
so you know, and you have to check people on it. You know.
I'm not too good at checking people, man, but yeah,
right.
You have to,
you know, because it's your
like,
truth.
Man.
You know, so
like,
if you're gonna tell it all, you have to tell it all.
You do. So
you do.
And so
just don't forget people. You know, just don't forget.
Very true.
Not without a doubt. Do not forget. That's one of the reasons why you're doing this, and this is why it's a blessed thing, and it's going to be a good thing, and it's going to be around for a while. You say this is the first year, but guess what? We're going to be right back here.
Yes,
God willing.
Year.
We're going to be right back here, and I'm going to bring you back in here. We're going to bring you back in here so that we can do this all again.
Yes,
and hold on. For all you people out there with them ideas, the Fred Stoner Muhammad Ali movie, I'm going to need a piece of that action. I can act. All right, anything you want to say before we go, Kate?
Man, so blessed to have you here today. It's been a total pleasure. And
thank you.
Definitely got to be there for support.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
For sure. So,
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming out today.
Thank you first, you know, thank you, God, and I thank you all for reaching out to me and bringing me on. I appreciate it. It was a pleasure. I love the vibe.
Yeah, it's always fun. It's always fun to hear.
So I appreciate it, and you all keep doing what you are doing. I'm loving it. Give you your flowers.
Appreciate. Thank you. Those are hard to come by. Is there anything? So that takes care of anything else you'd like to add before we go?
Just come out, you all support Fred Stoner Senior Day. We are, and if anyone want to give anything, plenty of water and chips for the kids, cases of water and cases of chips for the kids, and that's
all right. Awesome.
And we're having, everything is free.
Right. Right.
So just come out and fellowship and learn with us, and mingle with us and love with us.
Yeah.
I'm game. I'm gonna shoot through there after work. I know y'all got work, man. Shoot through there after work. I'm gonna shoot through there after work. Definitely. And let me give this chance to say that it's a blessing to have you here. Thank you for coming. I know how busy your schedule is, and Katie and I were excited about you being here. We were all excited about you being here. So just to have that essence and that line of royalty in the building, man. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Continuing the legacy.
Yep. Local Louisville fighting. We bomb first. Fred Stoner Day. Freddie Flowers. Let's go.
See you there.
Yep. See you there. We out.